love, and then look at the, it was literally changed the shape of the flake. Then he would write, I hate you, and they go back together. Then he says, well, let's try this. So he went to a lake, had a bunch of people hold hands, and they all said, I love you, I love you, I love you. Changed physically because the intent of our intent changed it. Our consciousness changed it, right? So it has a lot to do with our consciousness as well as the universal consciousness. Because if our consciousness is not in tune, we're not going to be. We're also going to be. We're into hate more than we are. It's easier to create chaos than peace. Simple as that.
Oh, big time, yeah,
big time. Right. So it's easier to say, I hate you, kill, than to be kind and generous and peaceful, and that has to be us. And so so I've learned that I can create gem elixirs. So I used to make the same device based and the same thing that Hilda Clark would teach you. Is two pads. They're connected together, and in the center you have a switch, and so you put one over here and something over here. You want transfer over here, and you click on the switch to make a connection. All that does is telling your brain, I have a connection, and you are consciously sending that to there. See, you're the energy that's causing that. You don't have to turn anything on. You don't have to get batteries, plug it in. We're the energy that makes that work. Yeah. And then as I evolved in my craziness, I don't need that. All I gotta do is I got a book. You have a book. Here's a gem. You look at that picture of that gem. That gem energy, I know what the frequency is. I don't have to physically see the gem. That gem generates a frequency regardless if it's in a book or if it's in physical form. Cool, right?
Yeah.
And that's the way it works in nature. Exactly right. Exactly right. It's the intent. So we have the ability to create things that Mother Nature gave us to create. That's why we want. That's what we do. So when I do gem elixirs, I think of ruby, right? Oh, there's a ruby, the ruby red, right? Beautiful. It has a certain frequency. I don't need to know what that frequency is. I just have to think ruby, and I can think ruby in the water. And I told the Japanese guy, why don't you do that with gems? Because if you look at, so what you do is you put a gem in the water. You take a electron microscopic view of the water before the gem and after the gem. You'll see that the water will have the hue or the color of that gem. Mm-hmm. The color is very important. So you put a ruby in water, and you put the gem, and then you take it out and you put it. If you do, you know what I mean. You do the electron microscope view afterwards, and you don't have to do anything. But you don't know what's happening. Is that when you put the ruby in the water, your consciousness is already putting the frequency of the ruby into the water. See, you cannot do it otherwise. You can't. I'm not looking. I put it right. No, as soon as your physical body, your mind, your consciousness is literally taking that energy and putting it in the water. When I was a long time ago, when I was young, my mother used to make. People used to come to her and they say, "Well, my house is cursed, right, or haunted, or this person over there said a curse on me. I want you to cure the curse." And my mom would kill the chicken and do a sacrifice, but that generated the consciousness, right, to do that. So I said, Mom, you don't have to do that. So she would send me to a store, and she would buy some of these crystals, were some of the cheaper, and she would crush them down, put them in wine, and the consciousness will be generating that in the wine, right? So I said, Mom, you don't have to do that. All you got to do is put that. You don't even need to put it, but it helps to have something to guide your consciousness. You take that, put it in the water.